Hello everyone, peace of Christ to all. In this video we'll talk about something very funny and very stupid. Maybe we did not talk about before, or maybe I mentioned it before in old video, I'm not sure. However, there's many hadith in Islam we never talk about. There's millions of them actually. But always we focus in refuting Muslims mostly. This is why we don't talk about them. However, before I go there, someone he sent me a question asking me how I can find the best book to read. Now, for sure, me myself, if somebody asks me, I will say read my book. But it might be sound like not maybe he would think that I'm just saying that because it's my book. The reason I say that you need to read my book before we go to the other topic about the funny hadith, if you look in Amazon, all the books we see, regardless it's made by who, made by Muslims, by Christians, by etc. First, I advise you never read a book about Islam made by a Muslim convert as an example, or an Arab Muslim. Why? Because someone who's in love with something, he will present for you the best image of it. Because simply he don't see anything wrong with it, because that's why he's in love, otherwise he will not be in love. So number one rule, don't ever buy a book or read a book written by a Muslim unless it's in Arabic, and in order to learn about Islam and to find more resource for your knowledge. But in English, all those books is done for marketing of Islam. Now, what about books made by Christians or even atheists? Like we have many well-named, like Robert Spencer. I have a total respect for this person because he is one of the first Western who stand up to expose Islam. So I have a special respect for those people who do so. However, still those people, their knowledge of Islam is very limited because simply they don't have access to the heritage of Islam. In case you do not know, not even 1% of the Islamic library. If I say 1%, I'm exaggerating. I don't think even 0.111% is translated. Because Sahih al-Bukhari and Sahih Muslim is nothing really. Those are small books comparing to what we are talking about. So how those people, they can really tell you about Islam and teach you about Islam? I don't think they will be able to do so. They learn from what is translated already. And what is translated is very limited, so what they learn is very limited still. Now, what about those stars we see for books? 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars. Those stars really mean nothing for me, including my book too, because people who support me, they will give me 5 stars. Muslims who hate me, they will give me 1 star. So what is the honesty? 5 stars mean nothing. And actually, if you go and check the review of books, you will find that many of those who review, as an example here we go Nabil Qurashi. Before we see the review, as an example, Nabil Qurashi, I have a lot of respect for this person. I really love this brother. But Nabil Qurashi, he himself as an ex-Muslim, is he really knowledgeable about Islam? I will say he's far away from knowledge. Why? Because simply he is the same as Shabir Ali, same as many who is coming from Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, whatever, those countries who they don't speak Arabic. So what they know about Islam is very limited, something they learn from their school, which is very limited, which is giving good idea about Islam and giving false titles, and they copy-paste. As an example, in the last debate, Mr. Nabil, he said that Islam means submission, which is absolutely wrong, And he, as an ex-Muslim, doesn't mean he knows Islam. Knowing the religion something and being one of it by birth is something else. And I notice all those who don't speak Arabic, they are the same. Zakir Naik, Shabir Ali, it's the same, copy-paste, but none of them really have a deep knowledge of Islam. This is why they cannot stand for a debate. This is why you will see Shabir Ali, he debate Nabil Qurashi because he understands that he have a very high possibility maybe he will win, but he will never debate with me because he know he's no match. And number one reason for him, he know he is no match because he don't speak Arabic, I do. That is a major reason. Not just because I have, additional to that, I have degrees in Islam, and my degrees are real, not from the University of Toronto. or University of Canada. How a Canadian university, if you're, once somebody asked me, why don't do PhD? So they encouraged me to do it, and I contact a university, and then I called the dean of the school, and we talked to the person, and then he said to me, by the way, I do not know much about Islam. Most of the things I learned is from someone, by the way, he have the same voice as yours, even his accent. So I found out that the one who will give me PhD, he himself is learning from me, and I said to myself, this is really stupid. It's hypocrisy. I will spend a lot of money. I will spend 3 years to get a PhD, and then the person who will give it to me, he is learning from me. So the point is, those who don't speak Arabic, know Arabic very well, they have a very limited access to the knowledge, which means they will not give you real knowledge. I'm not saying don't read the book of Robert Spencer or Nabil Qureshi. I'm not saying that. I'm saying facts. And stars mean nothing. If you go right now to Nabil Qureshi book, I never read the book, so I have no idea really how good or how bad it is. But if you go to the review, you will see all the Muslims give him 1 star. Very simple. If you check it out, here we go. And you will see that those who give him 1 star, they did not even buy the book. You see here, it doesn't say verified purchase. No verified purchase. No verified purchase, which means they never bought the book. And look, this guy is making a study article, but the fact he never bought the book. How someone who never bought the book, he make a review? So the 5 stars, 6 stars, 7 stars, 10 stars, they mean nothing, because most of it is written or driven by emotion. People who they are Muslims, they go against you. People who they are Christian, they sponsor you. And it's really to find a real review going deep in details. Those reviews in Amazon can work if you are going to buy a camera. Someone explained to you that the battery is is not working good, etc., because in here there's no emotion involved. But when it's come to religion, emotion is involved very much. Like if you go to my book, this is in Kindle. If you go to my book, I have 5 reviews, all of them 5 stars. But is it really truly my book 5 stars? I don't know. But I believe in the same time that people who make it 5 stars, they are driven by emotion too, because all those who give it, mostly or most likely, they are supporting me. So I don't go by 5 stars. I go by what is inside the book. Now, before we move to continue the topic, by the way, my book right now is available in papers for those who would like to order the book as a paperback. It's shipped by Amazon and ready to go. Now, so who is the one he can really give you a good insight or good education about Islam? Number one, he have to speak Arabic, because then you will find in his books things you never heard before. The rest are just copy and paste from each other, or they are copying from someone like me who speak Arabic. Number two, someone have degrees in Islam. I have degrees in Islam. I'm not only native Arabic speaking, I am qualified to be a judge in Islamic court, officially and legally. So I have degrees, Arabic is my first language, and then I have the knowledge and the skills. Many of you knows that I spent a big portion of my life just debating Muslims. So all those together, they can make someone who can help you really to understand Islam, not someone making it as a hobby. Today we will talk, we finished talking about books. I hope you learned how to choose a book to read, who is the one you can really read it from, and where you can find real information about religion. So what I'm trying to say, those who don't speak Arabic, they have a very limited access to Islamic heritage. Therefore, they will be very limited in the way they can help you. However, still you can read their books, but if you are looking for something new, something maybe you never heard before, not just a copy-paste from each other, then it's better if you learn from someone who speaks Arabic. As an example here, this is a book. The book, just to show the Muslims here, this is the book of Sunan al-Durami. And Sunan al-Durami is one of the Sunni book, which is considered as a Sahih Hadith too. However, the Muslim, they have ranks for books, and there is 6 ranks of books in the Sahih, which means 6 books of Sahih. However, it doesn't mean that those books are not correct. Muslims, they learn from them. This is why this is a very famous sheikh, the one who owned this website. His name is Ash-Sha'rawi. He was one of the famous in Egypt for until he died, and this is why he is teaching from it, because he, as a scholar, he learned from Ad-Darimi. So in here you will see that it says that if you want to go to do poo-poo, you better put your turn your butt to a cover like a rock or a wall or a sand hill, because if you don't do that, shaitan or shayateen, they will play with your anus. And this is why Muslims, they have to make certain prayer before they enter the bathroom, otherwise shaitan play in his anus. Maybe he will put screwdriver. Now, how someone who don't speak Arabic, he will find this, or he will learn about this, or he can read it? No way. Same way if we go to different story as an example. In this story, supposedly there is a guy who wanted to make fun of miswak. An imam was making a lecture about miswak, so he made fun of miswak. And in the second day in the morning, he found his arm, you know, the whole arm, like from your finger all the way to your shoulder. He found his arm, all of it inside his anus. Now, if I don't speak Arabic, how I'm going to be able to read those books? Those stories exist in many books. So there is no way for me to be able to find them and read them and deliver them to someone else who don't speak the language of the Arab, unless me myself, I speak Arabic. So those who don't speak the language, they miss a lot. As an example, there's a story, as long as we're talking about the miswak. Someone, he made fun of the miswak, and Allah, he punished him, and he made him pregnant with a rat. You believe it? Actually, I have a video for it. Let us watch it together.
وذكرها صاحب شذرات الذهب الجزء الخامس صفحة، وذكرها صاحب 70 وفي صفحة 263، وذكرها صاحب شذرات الذهب الجزء الخامس صفحة 457. قصة عجيبة جدا جدا. قال ابن خلكان: بلغنا عن جماعة يوثق بهم وصلوا إلى دمشق من أهل بصرى أن عندهم قرية يقال لها دير أبي سلامة، وكان بها رجل من العربان فيه استهزاء زائد بالدين. فجرى يوم ذكر السواك وهو جالس. الشيخ عمل محاضرة كلها عن السواك، خطبة جمعة كلها عن السواك، فقال سواك ايه بس؟ والله لا أستاق إلا من الدبر. شفت الفاجر؟ فاجر. وبالفعل أدخل السواك في دبره فآلمه تلك الليل، ثم مضى عليه 9 أشهر وهو يشكو من ألم في بطنه وفي مخرجه، ثم أصابه بعدها مثل طلق الحابل، فوضع حيوانا على هيئة جرذون شبيه بالفأر كده، صاح الحيوان 3 صيحات، ثم قامت ابنة الرجل فضربته على رأسه فمات، يعني الجرذون، ولم يلبث الرجل بعدها إلا يومين.
Okay, that's enough. So this is stories you will never find out unless someone like this guy or someone like me, he speak Arabic, to show you how stupid this religion is. So you can imagine how much hiding story you never heard of, because simply you are reading or listening to people who speak only English. So anyway, before we finish, please inform your friends that my book as a paperback is now available, and please don't forget to post a review, but honest review, and tell your friends about it, and let us share the knowledge together. I'm not going to say my book is the best book, but I believe my book have things you never heard before, and this is what you need, not copy paste. God bless you. Thank you very much. See you soon.